everybody. I call this Committee of the Whole School Board meeting Tuesday, May 26, 2026 to order. Ms. Rich, can we get a roll call, please?
Mr. Baranowski.
Present.
Mrs. Carlson.
Present.
Mrs. DiPaolo.
Here.
Mr. Godekson.
Present.
Mr. Hartline.
Present.
Mrs. Krieger.
Here.
Dr. McGuire.
Here.
Mr. Martin.
Here in spirit.
Mr. Sadowski.
Here.
9 members present.
Thank you. Can we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. Announcements. We had an executive session May 20th for personnel reasons, and tonight, May 26th, for personnel reasons also. Superintendent's report, Dr. Lucabaugh.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Crossan. So we have a number of folks in our audience tonight that we are excited to recognize, and I'm going to start by talking a little bit about one of the cherished traditions of many that are here in our school district in Centennial, and it is the Fine Arts Showcase. And it was held this year on Friday, May 8th at William Tennent High School, and this is a signature event that highlights the talents and creativity of our students across a variety of artistic disciplines, and it transforms our atrium and the upper balcony of the school into a vibrant celebration of student achievement and artistic expression. There are over 2,000 pieces on display, and if you've walked into that place when it's in there, it is gorgeous, it is beautifully done, and it includes student drawings, paintings, ceramics, handcrafted clothing and accessories, and they were all beautifully displayed, creating an inspiring gallery experience for all in attendance. The evening also brought together families, friends, and community members in large numbers. That's the most people I've ever seen in the atrium and upper balcony of William Tennent in the history of William Tennent, and that includes when students are changing classes during the day. It was amazing to see so many people come out and celebrate our students and our teachers. Guests enjoyed an exceptional culinary experience as well, provided by our outstanding Family and Consumer Sciences Department, whose students and staff thoughtfully prepared and presented an elegant selection of hors d'oeuvres, and every detail of the evening reflected care, creativity, and a commitment to excellence. And so tonight, we are pleased to recognize and thank our art and our family and consumer science teachers for their remarkable teamwork, vision, and dedication in bringing this event to life. Their countless hours of planning and preparation created a truly memorable experience and ensured the evening's success. And we are grateful for their efforts and proud of the meaningful opportunities they continue to provide for our students. And if you've seen it, I know many of our members of the board, if not all, were in attendance. It is just absolutely superb. I feel like every event we do in Centennial, it just gets better. There are so many wonderful things, but this was really one of the crown jewels, so you should be incredibly proud. So I just wanted to, because the setup alone is incredible, and it just takes so much time to put the evening together, and you walk in and see it, and it's just gorgeous. So, and our celebration of the arts in the district is something to be very proud of. So I'm just going to have you come up here when I read your name. I'm going to give you a certificate, and I just want you to curl around the front of the board dais up here, and we're going to get a picture. So you're just going to have to stand up in front of everybody and hold your certificate. Sorry. I'll go as quickly as I can, but. So Anastasia Baumgartner. Anastasia Baumgarten. Not here. Okay. All right. How about Stacy Berner? There we go. And Frankie Burnell. There he is. Autumn Dow. So board members, this is also the person who masterminded that beautiful sign back in January. For students over at Willowdale, so. Thank you. So, Paula Foran. Jana Francis. Rena Friedent. And just to embarrass her a little bit, she's also the mastermind of this ceremony of the art show, and just the chair of the department, and also the person who helps to pull all the strings and pull everything together. So incredible job. Tara Herring. Kristen King. Kelly Laurel. Alexandra Montgomery. Samantha Rayburn. Lori Schenfeld. All right, now I want to just switch over and just thank our FCS teachers. The hors d'oeuvres, I think that's a big hit. Whoever butlered, so the kids were butlering hors d'oeuvres throughout the night, and there's a whole process behind that, by the way. Several weeks earlier, the students debuted all the hors d'oeuvres that might make the cut, and then they invited people in. I immediately accepted that invitation, and we came in and just ate and then voted, and then they served what was voted to be the meal of choice. I'm not sure how those kids even made it out of the first hallway, because they were just swarmed as they had their trays, but it was just really well done. Not to mention all of the displays, the sewing that we do, and do such a great job, and some of the things that we do for the community too. So I just want to thank Lindsay Hessler. And Lauren Cedar. Lisa Spillner. And Sandra Wirt. All right, so the folks behind a great show, thank you so much. Okay. So now I'm going to transition on the heels of talking about that wonderful event, and I'm going to transition over to another special centennial tradition, and that is called the Centennial Purchase Prize. And this year we were very proud to continue what is a long-standing tradition of the Centennial Purchase Prize. And each year, the superintendent is given the honor of selecting one or two exceptional pieces of student artwork to become part of the permanent collection that's housed and displayed here at Swan Way. So you see some of them are hanging here in our boardroom. Many are in the hallway when you first walk into the building. Some are up around the other part of our building as well. So we find places to curate and hold this artwork really forever here in our building. And in recognition of this achievement, the selected students will receive a $250 check award and formally recognized here tonight at our board meeting. The artwork displayed throughout Swan Way serves as a lasting legacy of the remarkable talent and creativity of our students and reflects the enduring impact of this prestigious honor. So traditionally, I get invited to come over, and I was overwhelmed. I started to walk around. I thought, okay, I'm going to pick 2 pieces. And they were all spectacular. So you're walking around thinking, like, okay, what would look good? I guess it comes down to just feel and just what really hits you. And a lot of pieces did. I mean, Mrs. Frieden will tell you, I spent a lot of time in the hallway, went back, walked around. And in the end, there were 2 pieces in particular that just I kept returning to and thinking about. And so if you want to come up, Mrs. Frieden, and talk a little bit about our 2 students and the pieces that they worked on. I won't put our students on the spot and talk about unless you want to.
Thank you. So yes, the tradition is for the superintendent to pick a piece for the growing gallery, but Dr. Lucabaugh, as you said, he was drawn to 2. So this year we're incredibly grateful to have 2 amazing young creatives honored. Neither of them are seniors, so you're hopefully going to see a lot more of them. One is a sophomore and one is a junior, but they're each spectacular artists and even better human beings. Mia Moken, would you mind coming up, May? So, if I may, I was introduced to Mia in my painting class earlier in the fall, and Mia was all business. She came in, she worked on her time, at her pace, on what she wanted to do. And luckily, she let me come in and join her. And she is extraordinary. She is a very, very tough nut to crack, and as soon as you do, you find out immediately how incredibly bright, how incredibly articulate, how sensationally kind, and how much she is a team player, besides being as gifted as she is to create that scratchboard. Mia is a force. She was also recognized earlier this year at the PSEA Touch the Future exhibition, where she had another piece on show. It's a gorgeous portrait of her grandmother, but you would think that it's her. But that's the strong family resemblance. She really, really did her proud. She's probably not going to talk about her piece right now, even though I'll ask her if she wants to, but she created this gorgeous scratchboard in Art 3 with her teacher, Ms. Herring. I don't even want to begin to consider how many hours, because the scratchboard is a meticulous, meticulous way of working, and Mia disappears. She just takes it and goes and sets incredibly high goals for herself, and then tackles them and achieves them. So this is Mia.
Hi. I don't really have much to say about the piece, because when I was assigned it, we were told to pick something with high value. And the person I chose was from a band I really like, and I know that he usually wears a lot of white face paint, and I just know he would have a lot of value in all of his pictures. We really only had like a couple of weeks to finish it, but I took a little longer than the deadline, and I would take it home, and my mother would hound me every night to finish it. And I ended up with that, and I am really proud of it. I showed it to like a bunch of my teachers because I wanted them to see how proud of it I was, and so it was kind of like a joint effort between me and my mom, because she kind of like forced me to do it when I got home. So that's my piece. That's me. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Should we get a picture? Is your mom here?
Yeah, she's a
Oh, your parent, or is anybody else with you?
My dad and my brother and my grandmother's with the camera.
Yeah, let's get everybody up here. We'll get everybody up here.
Yeah, get it in front of your.
All right, yes, we'll get over here in front of the painting and that, so. Thank you for pushing her through it. You get a chance after the meeting to look, I mean, it's so striking, the detail. How long did it take you out? How many hours?
I don't know. A couple of weeks, honestly.
Okay.
It was a long time.
Incredible. Oh, yes. Now, hold on, Mia. I have something for you, as promised. All right, so as promised, here is a check, your first official commission, $250. Thank you. So.
Okay, and the other spectacular piece that Dr. Lucabaugh found, he was wandering the halls, as we do, and he kept talking about time with his son. And I don't know what happened first, the stories about his son or finding this painting. But from what I heard you say, this took him to a place that he loves with the person that he loves out in Montana. So this is a oil painting that Max did in painting class this year. And Max was not eligible to be in the class this year because he's only a sophomore, but we found a way for Max to be in this class because if you've ever met Max, you know that there really isn't anything he can't do, including take classes that are above what he's supposed to be taking. He's taught all of us in the class. We're running to keep up with Max. Max never has any time for anything because he's always doing everything. Today he stayed after school. He had to get here. He also has a paper. Did you write your paper, Max? Okay, it's getting there. It'll be done at some point. Max is sensationally gifted with stop motion animation. He is also the recipient of the Congressional Art Award. And in case you don't know what that is, that's a very rare occurrence. Each congressional district in the United States has a state representative that picks a work of art that is then hung in Congress or in the tunnel between the Senate and Congress for the calendar year. And Max was chosen by Brian Fitzpatrick this past March to be the recipient of that award. He is in a drawing or a scratchboard. It's a black and white drawing that he did in his Art 2 class with Miss Francis, who's here tonight to celebrate Max as well. And it's a simply modest and gorgeous piece that is now going to be hung in Congress for the year. So as far as I know, this is only the second centennial student to be a part of this show down in DC. And it's, as I said, it's an exceptional honor. It's 435 students in the country get this prestigious award each year, and Max is the recipient and a centennial student. So pretty big deal. So come on up, Max. So I don't know if Max wants to say anything. He already told me he doesn't, but you may just want to say a little, so I don't know.
I would just want to say thank you. It's a great opportunity. It's always nice when somebody sees something in something that you made. And, you know, painting's not something I always do. And oils, this is our first time doing oils in the class. And so there's a lot of learning and, you know, trial and error in this piece. So, thank you.
Yeah, had the privilege of meeting Max and his parents at the festival. Me, I was looking for, I just couldn't find you that night. And when he told me it was he's like, yeah, this is my first oil painting. I'm like, what? What? Like, how is that possible? That's your first, is that true? Your first foray into oil painting? So if your mom and dad and any family, if you want to come up, let's get a picture and congratulations. So, before I forget, here, let me give you what I think might be a frequent thing, some commission money for paintings. So, but thank you so much. It's beautiful, and here we'll
So we set them, no.
a little bit so we can get a picture. I'll carefully pull it out. There we go.
No.
Yeah, I'd like to have at least make it to the wall. So congratulations to them. Oh, we can just do it. All right, so okay. All right, so next steps, we will find a fitting place to display both of these beautiful, beautiful pieces. And thank you again to Mrs. Frieden and to the entire art department and everybody, parents, everyone who supports these talented artists and just helps them along their journey. We're just the lucky recipients to be able to take in your work and your talent. It's a wonderful thing. Okay. Next up, I'm going to transition over to something called the Outstanding Achievement Award winners. And hold on, I can't concentrate. I'm getting. All right, careful where you. Okay. All right. I'm going to be watching that out of the corner of my eye all night. So we have a board policy 353. And it has to do with the recognition of Outstanding Achievement Award winners. And so each year, in accordance with that policy, the Centennial School Board proudly recognizes employees whose dedication, performance, and commitment go above and beyond in ways that positively impact our schools and community. And each year, an appointed selection committee comprised of administrators, staff, a student, and a community representative review nominations and select recipients for the Outstanding Achievement Awards in the areas of administration, teaching, and support staff. Each nomination highlights the individual's service to Centennial and includes examples of how their work reflects our district's mission, vision, and beliefs, while showcasing the qualities that make them truly exceptional in their role. This evening, we're honored to celebrate this year's Outstanding Achievement Award recipients. And earlier this month, what we did is we actually gave them their certificates in their place of work, in their classroom or their office area. We surprised them. We walked in, they didn't know what we were doing there. And we talked about what they did in front of their students or their colleagues. And tonight, we're delighted to just recognize them publicly and celebrate the tremendous contributions that they make to Centennial each and every day. And so I think before I bring everybody up, Mr. Sanchez was trailing along and shot a little bit of video, and so we'll just play some of those highlights from those presentations.
We have something in our district called the Outstanding Achievement Award. And it is a tradition here in Centennial where every year we send an email out to all of our employees, all of the people who work in our district for you as children. And our employees get to nominate someone that they believe has done incredible work and has really fulfilled that mission of the school district and is just a really incredibly special and important employee. And so this is our employees who nominate. And you were nominated and chosen as the winner. And I would like to read. I would like to read first So you were nominated by Mrs. Lockhart. Debbie has demonstrated exceptional dedication and a compassionate approach that represents the very best of our educational community. She brings a genuine positive attitude to the school every day, creating an environment where students feel encouraged to grow. Her unique ability to build meaningful connections with all students, not just those assigned to her, was perfectly captured by a student who told her, "You make the rain cloud go away from my head." Oh my goodness. Oh, that's amazing. Oh my gosh. So it's very nice to meet you, David Lucabaugh. All right, so hi everybody. I'm Dr. Lucabaugh, I'm the superintendent. I know I've seen a couple of you out and about. So thanks for letting me interrupt, but I'm actually here because I want to talk a little bit about Mrs. Drake. Okay, so here's the backstory. All right. So every year, the Centennial School District puts out a survey to all the employees in the district to nominate someone who does a phenomenal job at what they do for an Outstanding Achievement Award. And so this is all the employees make this decision, okay? And you were, and guess who was nominated and chosen as an Outstanding Achievement Award winner? Mrs. Drake. All right. So if you want, here, come on in. Come on in. All right. Okay. All right. So let me tell you what was nominated, what was put in. So you were nominated by Mrs. Blaney. Sorry, I had to out you. It is what it is. All right. It's a beautiful thing. So here's what was said. Most classroom support staff go unrecognized despite their unwavering commitment to our students. May I say your first name?
Yes.
Margie Drake, a paraprofessional with over 20 years of service at Centennial, is a prime example of someone who deserves the highest recognition. As a colleague, parent of graduates, and a community member, her work ethic and humor make everyone around her better. Margie treats every student as her own, providing care they may lack elsewhere. When a student struggled to find books in a series they loved in the school library, Margie used her own library card to borrow them and spent her unpaid lunch breaks retrieving them as a reward for the students' hard work. You almost look as if you're used to this.
I am. It's what they do every day.
You know what? I mean, holy moly. So that's impressive, Mrs. Freeman, I have to say. So, all right, well, so as I was telling your students, your colleague over there may or may not have nominated you for an Outstanding Achievement Award. And you were selected as an Outstanding Achievement Award recipient. So I'm going to read a little something that was furnished for me, courtesy of Mrs. Francis. And it says, Ms. Rena Frieden, for more than 32 years, this extraordinary art educator has served the Centennial School District as a transformative teacher, department head, and K-12 curriculum coordinator. Rena's influence, can I call you Rena? I just did. So, okay. Rena's after I called you that, I asked you if I could. Rena's influence not only nurtures artistic skill in courses ranging from Foundational Art 1 to AP level courses, but also the confidence and resilience of every student. This lasting impact is evidenced by a former student who returned as a colleague and being recently recognized as Don't Go Anywhere Most Passionate Teacher of the Yearbook. As a visionary leader, she has been instrumental in launching Centennial X. This work directly inspired the creation of the Student Design Lab and Beyond the Campus initiative with the Fox Chase Cancer Center. Here, I have to read what.
Oh my God, I cried.
Okay, all right, so they wrote, over your 23-year tenure as an administrative assistant at Klinger and here. You've consistently exemplified professionalism, compassion, and excellence. You go far beyond your required duties, creating a welcoming environment where staff and students feel heard and valued. Her empathy and dedication to being a listening ear have significantly strengthened our school community and fostered a more collaborative workplace. Furthermore, her technical expertise, particularly with our information system, is an invaluable asset to the district. All right, so we have something in our school district called the Outstanding Achievement Award. And you can't apply for it. It has to be awarded by a colleague or somebody you work with. And so one of your colleagues, who has chosen to remain anonymous for the moment, nominated you and you were selected as an Outstanding Achievement Award winner. Okay, and this is what your colleague said of you. With 21 years of service, Mr. Freeze is a cornerstone of the Social Studies Department at William Tennant and the William Tennant community. Known for his unique ability to connect with every student, he fosters an environment where all learners feel supported and encouraged to reach their potential. His impact is lifelong, with former students citing his mentorship as the inspiration for their professional careers. Okay. And the reason for that is because we have something in Centennial called the Outstanding Achievement Award. And it is given to people who do exemplary work, and they have to be nominated by a colleague, someone they work with. And this person has not revealed themselves to me yet. And I'm going to give this to you, and I'm going to read what they said about you. She ensures that every learner, from gifted students to those with diverse social and emotional needs, is empowered to succeed. Her impact extends far beyond the classroom through her commitment to community service. As the key club advisor, she coordinates service opportunities for over 100 students annually. She also manages 2 blood drives per year. She facilitates math tutoring at Klinger, reading events at the elementary schools, the Klinger Farmers Market, and Make-A-Wish fundraisers, to name a few.
We have so many dedicated, hardworking, selfless employees in our district, but I think it's very fitting when your colleagues see that in you, and they work with you and watch you day in and day out, and to be recognized by those with whom you work for standing out and doing something is especially beautiful. So I just, at this point in time, I'd like to ask Mrs. Margie Drake, and I do have who nominated everybody, so she was nominated by Elizabeth Blaney. So Mrs. Drake, if you want to come on up, if you want to bring up anybody you want to bring up with you, so come on up. And I'll have you all line up, and then we have some gifts and some tokens for you as well. If you just want to kind of stand up here in the front, and then we'll get everything over. Rena Friedent. And she was nominated by Jana Francis, so Jana, you're welcome to come up if you want, or anybody you want to come up. So just fill right on in here. Then we have David Freeze, and he was nominated by Alexandra Shu. So David, come on up. And then we have Heather Harper, who was nominated by Karen Adams. And then we have Debbie Hiller, nominated by Kimberly Lockevar. And then Joanne Mancini, nominated by Jeremy Wright. So I don't think Joanne could be with us tonight, but I think too, one of the best things was watching, especially in the classrooms, watching the students' responses as we talked a little bit about each of these wonderful employees and just, the pride and a lot of the students erupted into cheers right away for everybody on here. So it was just a really, really special thing. So thank you for standing out, for doing the things in and out, the little things, the selfless things, the kind things, the amazing things that make a difference in the lives of our students here. So. So you're not walking out here empty-handed. So we have a Centennial backpack. Inside it, there are a number of Centennial things. I believe there is a stadium blanket. There is a beautiful plaque. There are some other Centennial swag items included in here, and we'll hand these out to everybody right now. And then grab a picture. So there you go. Congratulations. So,
This is Dave.
Dave.
Rena.
Rena.
Sir, please.
Heather and Debbie. And then Joanne. Okay. Congratulations. All right, thank you. Now, as always, you're all welcome to stay, but, Max, I think you have a paper to write, so you're all certainly welcome to do what you need to do, but we won't be upset if you need to leave as well. So thank you, everybody, and thank you, Mrs. Cross, and back to you.
Okay. Moving right along, we're going to go to public comments. We have Jean Price. Just when you come up, you have 3 minutes, your name, and just where you're located, Warminster or Ivyland or wherever.
I will. Okay. At least I don't have to talk in front of everybody. All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Jean Price. I'm at Gorson Drive in Warminster. Recently, I saw an ad on Indeed for an outside agency looking to hire a Braille instructor for our area. Does that mean that you guys are planning on hiring somebody and looking to pull the IU out of the district? I understand that, you guys are facing an overwhelming pressure of reducing costs and everything, but cutting costs at the expense of visually impaired kids is not the way to go. Okay. As most of you guys probably know, my son is visually impaired. He's heading into high school this year. Back in 3rd grade, this has happened before. We had to fight the school district, you guys, to keep the IU in for him. And luckily, we had a good fight and we were able to keep him in. But it turned out that the IU, you guys, pulled them right back in the next year because it didn't work. So I just don't know why you guys think if we're going to do this again that it's going to work. So going back to my son, correct me if I'm wrong, but I really think he is the only visually, legally blind kid in the school district. He is the only one receiving 100% Braille instruction. So going forward, knowing this, like pulling the IU out, pulling these skilled people out from the IU, you know, it's not only going to hurt him, but it's also going to hurt the teachers in the long run. I always push for as much structure in his IEP for time because of the teachers, not for him, for the teachers. And, you know, it's not a luxury. It's his legal right to freedom, to free, appropriate public education. And just moving forward, I really, really hope that you guys find a way to keep the IU in, because we'll be standing right back here in front of you guys if we come to find out you're pulling them out. I mean, really, even if it's past, he's graduating and you guys are still going to.
All right, well.
Okay, so just, I really hope I can hold it together, but he is an amazing young kid. In the past 8 years, he's come a really, really, really long way. To think back really long time ago, back when he was in kindergarten, this big, we were sitting here fighting, trying to send him to a school for the visually impaired. But we decided to give him to you guys and to see where he has come, see how far he has come. And he only has 720 days left. So I hope every single one of you guys go and talk to this amazing kid. You'll find him at the high school next year. Seriously, I really hope you guys keep the IU in for the visually impaired kids. I mean, I know it's tough. I know budgets are tough, but I really hope that you find it in your hearts and in your money and in some way to keep it, because we'll be back. I'm not the best public speaker, but I'll be back up here. I'll be back up.
Good.
So that's it. I don't know if my husband's going to come up and talk, but
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, next comment is Robert Price.
Good evening. I'm Robert Price. I'm same address, 1069 Gorson Drive. I'm here with my wife to fight for our son. Not sure what the plans were. She told me last week about this IU being taken out, and as she said, we fought a hard battle from the time he was in kindergarten. We almost went the due process. We had a great advocate that helped us along the way, and in fact, Centennial is the one that kind of talked us into taking him out of St. Lucie School for the Blind in Philadelphia and bringing him here, and then the last second, they tried backing out and saying they couldn't afford to. And then our advocate basically told us, do you want your son to grow up in your township? And we said, absolutely. So the first few years, it was a fight to get him the services. And so far, the past, like my wife said, 8 years, that he has come a long way. He's going to be multiple honor student classes next year, attendant. He's in every club you can think of. He does the play every year. He's a part of choir. This kid has so much ambition, so much drive, and I just know that something like this, there is it's not just a teacher, you grow. He's had the same teacher, vision teacher, since he was in fourth grade, fourth or third. And the rapport they have, and you just can't get that overnight. So to take that away from him, and him go through 10th, 11th, and 12th grade with a whole new vision teacher, a whole new program, it's going to be devastating for him. And this kid has a great future ahead of him. So we're just begging you guys, please, think about that. For not only for Liam, there's a few other visually impaired children in the district, but it's going to affect the kids. And like I said, Liam is, some of you might have known him from some of the plays you've been to and stuff. He's not afraid to try anything. In fact, he just told my wife he wants to go off with the swim team at Tenet. He did a triathlon yesterday for his camp he goes to. He ran 3.5 miles, swam 20 laps in the pool, and did a bike ride. So it's amazing. So don't take this away from the kids, because it can crush them. COVID was enough. What we did to the kids during COVID was enough. This is going to set them back even more. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving forward, Mr. Sadowski?
Approval of the agenda. Be it resolved that Centennial School District Board of School Directors 2.1 approves the May 26, 2026 Committee of the Whole agenda as per the attached. Are there any corrections that need to be made that are allowed by Pennsylvania law?
Second.
Any discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Passes 9-0. On to new business. Would anyone like anything pulled from the list here?
Yes. I'm going to do
3.2.
3.2, yeah, motion to table?
Second.
Okay. All in favor of table?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Motion to table passes 9-0 for 3-2.
Thank you.
Anyone want anything else pulled separately, or can I go through the full agenda? Okay. 3.1, be it resolved that the Centennial School District Board of School Directors approves the personnel agenda, including retirements, resignations, end of assignment, authorization to employ, leaves of absence, change of status, mentor teacher, and co-curricular additions. 3.3, approves the renewal of the memorandum of agreement between the district and Vita Education Services for adult literacy services for the 2026-2027 school year. 3.4, approves the special education services agreement and schedule of projected costs with the Bucks County Intermediate Unit Number 22 for the 2026-2027 school year in the amount of $4,599,309. 3.5, approves the exception to policy 206, assignment within district for student 1-22 to continue attendance at Davis Elementary School for the 2026-2027 school year. The parent is responsible for transportation. 3.6, approves the exemption to policy 206, assignment within district for student 16-4 to continue attendance at Willowdale Elementary School for the 2026-2027 school year. The parent is responsible for transportation. 3.7, approves the exception to policy 206, assignment within district for student 13-13 to continue attendance at Davis Elementary School for the 2026-2027 school year. The parent is responsible for transportation. 3.8, approves the exception to policy 206, assignment within district for student 19-22 to continue attendance at Davis Elementary School for the 2026-2027 school year. The parent is responsible for transportation. 3.9, approves the continued enrollment of student 5-7 at Bryn Athyn resident at William Tennant High School as a tuition student for the 2026-2027 school year. Tuition in the amount of $18,721.03 or more will be paid to the district. 3.10, approves an increase to Exhibit A, pricing for Kelly educational staff, last approved by the board on March 23rd, 2021. This increase would take effect on July 1st, 2026. And 3.11, authorizes and directs the administration to withhold payment of stormwater fees reassessed by the Warminster Municipal Authority and the Upper Southampton Municipal Authority pending legal issues and until the matter is litigated in the Bucks County Court of Common Pleas or until we receive a binding opinion from the Commonwealth or Supreme Court. We have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on these items? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? Any abstentions? Passes 9-0.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sadowski. Mrs. Krieger?
All right, thank you very much. Tonight, we have a budget update that we will click through. Some of this will be familiar, and perhaps some of it will be new. I first want to start by thanking everyone for their support. The budget season, and it's certainly been a season, has been unlike any other prior budget season. I've pointed over the last couple of months to the unified effort on our compass, and it has been extraordinary. The support from schools, administrators, board members has been instrumental in working through the budget challenges that we are facing. Tonight, I'll provide a budget overview of the past 6 months and the work that we've achieved, knowing full well that building and repairing a bridge to financial stability doesn't happen in a year, but it's through ongoing commitments. This slide takes us back to January 29th, the budget work session that we held. The budget work session was unique to prior budget work sessions as well. It focused on root causes, and more importantly, it focused on actions that could be taken to address the challenges the district faced. And with that goal to ensure fiscal responsibility through a comprehensive examination of district expenditures, aligning financial resources with strategic priorities, and advancing high-quality student outcomes with a focus on efficiency, we moved forward. We focused then on 3 areas as shown: personnel and staffing, programs and services, and financial strategies. And while the terms may have changed over the various presentations shared in the past 5 months, the goal to remain the same, focus on high-quality outcomes, remained the same. So taking a look at that, February 10th, this is our February 10th proposed preliminary budget slide that was shared. At that time, the budget included a 3.5% increase to the Act 1 tax rate, as well as, and it included a $7 million deficit. We shared the following: the rising operational costs, unfunded mandates from Washington and Harrisburg, along with lagging revenue from both Washington and Harrisburg, are the chief challenges, just not for Centennial School District, but from school districts across the county. And we focused on 5 mitigation strategies that we were going to take on. The March 24th budget update, we did just that. Looking to bridge the gap to Centennial's financial roadmap, we focused on the 5 initiatives. The first is transfer of entity. The second was zero-based budgeting. Strategic staffing and scheduling was our third. The fourth was a retirement incentive. And number 5, financial rigor when it comes to medical access and financial billings. So that brings us to today. So I will walk you through an update of each one of those 5 initiatives, and we'll talk about some other activities that we have been working on during that period of time as well, and then share with you the proposed final budget. While keeping our goals and our compass, our goal is our compass's true north, our efforts have hit almost every area talked about at the budget work session in January. And a lot of those ideas came from discussions early in the year, starting back as far as October, when Mr. Hartline joined Dr. Lukaba and I to try to identify these cost-saving measures. So it was a long period, very focused, and I think we're making significant progress against those. Of the 5 initiatives that we have, transfer of entity is, one I think one of the most proud of. It gets the completed check, which I'm glad to see. And the transfer of entity will save the district significant money, but more importantly, it reunites these students with their classmates at Davis. The increased savings is close to $1.3 million. Zero-based budgeting, a theory heard about but brought to us by Mrs. Krieger in earnest. And while difficult for us all to justify every expenditure, we needed to ask the following questions. Is the expense required by law or contractual obligation? Whether the expense is essential to our core operations and student services? Whether the expense directly supports district priorities and strategic goals? And lastly, whether the expenditure represents the most efficient and cost-effective option. So at each turn, we looked at what was spent, we looked at what we could do differently, and we managed the budget process accordingly. Through that lens, we were able to reduce department-level expenditures by close to $300,000. Our third initiative was scheduling, where we focused on personnel costs that make up the largest share of the district's budget. Schools, central office administrators carefully reviewed staffing levels, course offerings, and scheduling across schools to maintain rigor while improving efficiency and looking to save, again, close to $600,000 as we went through that effort. And what started out as small, our retirement incentive, grew as we worked across the district to put forth a retirement incentive that was truly unique to the district and to the county, and received board approval in April. And while the final counts will not be known until June 13th, the effort and review from teacher leaders and administrators has been fantastic. Groups of people really coming together to put forth the best of plans. And while savings is certainly a driver to our retirement incentive, a retirement incentive also allows districts to attempt to manage the inevitable retirements. Centennial has almost 100 teachers who will be eligible to retire over the next 5 to 7 years, almost 25% of our professional staff. And through this incentive, we can attempt to proactively plan for these retirements over time. Lastly, the retirement incentive can help districts avoid involuntary layoffs, like you may have heard from school districts in our county, where they create damage to staff morale, where damage to staff morale is significant. Our last initiative is more about financial rigor than it is about cost savings, making sure the district is doing everything it can to accurately recover funds from federal and state and other districts. As you can see, we were checking off most of the boxes as we go down. I know we're finalizing the interviews for this position that was approved by the board. We'll quickly jump into some other activities. So, community outreach over the past couple of months has been significant. Understanding the challenges the district faced, and has come in a number of different ways, our outreach. First, Dr. Lukaba and I held budget meetings at each of our 6 schools, facilitated through the home and school associations, and that provided us the opportunity to share this information to answer questions on the initiatives and concerns that our families held. Second, our finance chair, Mrs. Krieger, and Superintendent Dr. Lukaba drafted a letter also highlighting the challenges, which was posted on our website, as well as distributed to local tax offices and different organizations throughout our community. Such outreach we've never done that quite to the same effect, so I think it's very impressive that we're making those steps. And lastly, through support of the Finance Committee, we added a financial dashboard to our website. The address is at the bottom. You can also go to Centennial. You can click on the business office, and it'll jump right out at you. The financial dashboard provides current information on enrollment, costs, our 2025-26 budget, as well as financial activity, including year-to-date revenue and expense information, as well as full-year projections. All opportunities to bring more outreach, more understanding to the community at large. Other activities included as a part of our RFP for contracted services, as we have spoken about, expanding our relationships with those very vendors. In the one case, the vendor was able to provide grant writing services to the district at no cost, and I think we're very excited to hear where that can take us. Some of the districts that we reached out to had amazing success, so I think that's very positive to what we're doing. And lastly, we continue and begun to evaluate out-of-district placements and services required to maintain students in district programs. So that brings me to our final slides. Our last section tonight is the proposed final budget. The proposed final budget won't necessarily be our final budget as we work through the final numbers, including the retirement incentive, but it does set the ceiling for an Act 1 increase that can be applied. The proposed final budget is here in the box. It includes a deficit of $3.5 million, so the $7 million deficit we talked about and we saw in February has been cut in half through the efforts of those initiatives and the efforts of my colleagues working alongside of us to get this job done. The expanded retirement incentive could save the district an additional $1 million to $1.3 million, reducing the deficit to between $2.2 and $2.5 million. And the proposed final budget does include a full Act 1 increase of 3.5%. This second to last slide shows budgeted revenues and the source. You can see by the chart the amount of money gathered locally, as well as basic aid, which is from the state, other state revenue, and federal revenue is shown in purple there, 3%, as well as it shows the expenditures by object, so salaries and benefits make up the largest share of the district expenses. We are a people business, so that doesn't come to a surprise to anybody. Salaries, benefits, and debt service, right, things that we are contracted to do, that equals 76% of our total budget. So there's not a lot of room to squeeze, but we're doing the best we can in that endeavor. Our remaining steps are the proposed PDE, final budget, PDE 2028 is posted on board docs and on our website. We will look to finalize the retirement incentive on June 13th, and then we will seek approval for the final budget at our June 23rd board meeting. Any questions? Seeing none, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Greenwood. Thank you.
All right, Mrs. Krieger, you're up. Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Mrs. DiPaolo.
Education Committee, item 5.1. The Education Committee met last on Wednesday, May 13th. We actually had a pretty quick meeting. The items that we discussed, we will be presenting tonight, some for information, some for approval. Yeah, so I'm just going to say that because we're going to be discussing them anyway. All right.
Now, Mrs. Krieger.
Finance Committee met on May 14th. We had a quick update in terms of the finances through April 30th of 2026, the comparison to the prior year. The revenues as a percentage of the budget are in line with last year. The expenses as a percentage of the budget are below prior year percentages. The year-end projection shows that revenue is in line with the budget with a small yet growing surplus in expenditures. It's a good story. I think the most important thing, rather than go through, which Mr. Greenwood just did, the initiatives, is the fact that we have seen a change in mindset. People are now, whether it's the community, whether it's the Home and School Association, whether it's the Executive Council, have seen a change in understanding the importance of looking at what demand is and how to bring efficiencies into the school district. And we see that with whether it's the transfer of entity, zero-based budgeting, scheduling, the retirement incentive, and the medical access billing. And as a result, the initially projected deficit was going to be $10 million. We knew we had to do a 3.5% at this point tax increase for 2026-27, which brings the deficit down to $7 million. And we are, at this point, projecting no tax increase for from 2028 through 2031 because the savings initiatives have reduced their projected deficit by $3.5 million while we're awaiting the outcome of the retirement incentive, which could yield an additional $1.3 million. The point of the Centennial Financial Dashboard is the key to building trust is by providing transparency to all of our stakeholders, including the taxpayers. What has been eye-opening is that so much of our expense are mandates by the state that are not funded as initially promised through IDEA, and what we're trying to figure out is where, again, we can recoup additional money by looking at several of the other initiatives in special ed as one of the examples. To understand the scope of that means that with 1,322 special ed students, it costs the taxpayers an additional $22,800 per student per year, which creates a hole of over $30 million. That's unfathomable, but it is the state of where we are. And what's important is to continue to look through this for the next couple of years, because we are convinced that at the end of this, we will actually balance the budget. The other thing that is important is the CPI adjustment under the public school code just changed the requirements for doing quotes and doing public bidding. And this is important from our perspective because when we started looking at our spend for non-salaries and non-benefits, we were utilizing 499 vendors for this spend called other. It now gives us the opportunity to look for more efficiencies by leveraging the quotation, the RFP process. And so it's key to our efforts are these policies that will enable us to leverage and consolidate our vendor base as well as leverage our purchasing power. And that's really where we're headed for the next couple of years. And frankly, seeing the change in the mindset, I am convinced that we will be able to do this. The other thing that was important to mention is that the PSD LAF rate has now gone down to 3.4%. What does that mean? It means that for the money that we've got in the bank, we are earning less and less interest. It's an unfortunate set of circumstances, but that just means we got to look harder at finding ways in which to fund what is critical to a child's education, as well as working to live within our means. Our next Finance Committee meeting is Thursday, June 11th at 6 p.m.
Thank you, Mrs. Krieger.
Can I make a
Mr.
comment?
Sadowski?
Oh, can I just make a quick comment?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thanks, Karen, Mrs. Krieger, about that mindset. I just wanted to make a note that I think that's, the mindset is the big thing. And then the education piece. I just want to thank Mr. Greenwood and Dr. Lucabaugh for coming to the Panther Partners meeting, our last meeting, to share that information with parents. The good thing about that is that the parents that were attending that meeting are those parents that go out and talk to community members. So getting that information to them, I think, is really important. And thank you for presenting to the other home and school committees. And then also thank you for sharing the letter that you both wrote, Dr. Lucabaugh and Mrs. Krieger, for the community. We've put it in the Ivy Land Borough Hall as well as our Ivy Land Community newsletter. So I do think that neighbors are very concerned about finances, obviously. So giving them that information, I think, is very helpful. And I would like to continue doing that type of outreach.
We've dropped letters off not only at the tax office, but at Brian Monroe's office. Where I live in Five Ponds, we have a monthly newsletter. I printed 280 copies and put them as inserts into our monthly, and people are coming up to me and asking me questions about it, which is exactly what we want. And in that letter, we include the importance of looking at the website where Mr. Greenwood and his team are going to continue to put updates out there. We want people to understand why our taxes are what they are, why we had to do an increase, the importance of making sure that special ed students get the education that they are entitled to, while we're looking for ways to become more efficient.
Mr. Hartline?
I said I thought we were changing the time of that meeting to earlier in the day.
Yeah, we didn't at first because it was advertised, so it would have to be re-advertised.
Right, so,
Yeah.
but we have plenty of time right now to re-advertise, to change that time from 6.
To an hour sooner, right?
To an hour sooner.
All right. Okay. Any other questions? Mr. Sadowski?
Yeah, Operations Committee, our most recent meeting was on Friday, May 15th. We had a discussion and asked questions on the items on the agenda tonight in Section 8. The presentation is in board docs if you want to check any of that. I particularly want to highlight 8.2D, the buses that we're, the kind of lesser used, older buses on our fleet that we are repurposing as mobile dining units this summer. So when we deliver lunches to kids in our community as part of our free and reduced lunches program in the community parks, not necessarily at one of our schools, we'll be outfitting some of these buses with some nice decor. They'll have tables. There will be air conditioning. So it's a nice opportunity for the children in the community to come together, have a nice place to meet, eat together, and just have fun during the summer. So I'm excited to see those buses come to fruition and be out in the community delivering lunches around to the kids who need them. So our next meeting will be Friday, June 16th, so come join us here at the district building.
Thank you, Mr. Sadowski. Mrs. DiPaolo?
Thank you. So item 6, Education Student Services Committee. So 6.1, items presented for information. The first one is item 6.1A, our grade 8 English curriculum refinement, and Mrs. Mealy will be presenting on that. Yep. It's just an information item, right? So we probably don't have to present on that unless, if there's any questions. Any questions? Let's talk about it a little bit. Mrs. Mealy, would you talk about it just a little bit, please? Thank you.
So, as you are aware, we are moving from Springboard, which has been sunset, to, and that will be for 8th grade through 10th and 11th as well. Because that has been sunset, we had to kind of transition to a different curriculum, so that will be happening next year for 8th grade. And the direction was to transition to Wit and Wisdom, along with what K-7 is currently using for English curriculum. We have worked with the team of 8th grade teachers to look at something called Arts and Letters. We like to call it Wit and Wisdom 2.0. It's by the same publisher, Great Minds, but it has greatly improved. It's taken basically all of the feedback from teachers, administrators, school districts that makes some of Wit and Wisdom a little bit more challenging, including the 90-minute block versus what Arts and Letters is now designed for a 60-minute block. So in 8th grade, it's utilizing the same texts. However, it's shortened those lessons so that they can fit into that 60-minute block. It has created a more structured and streamlined process for delivering the lessons with numbered sequential steps. That's a little bit different from Wit and Wisdom. So we're not going in a totally different route. We are just making it, refining it so that it's an easier process for our teachers to provide that equitable and robust and rigorous experience for our students. And we will look to see how the year goes with arts and letters in 8th grade to see if we will then potentially be moving that back down through our grades now that we'll be far into it in wisdom. So, questions?
Mrs. Mealy, any questions?
Do we know any other districts that are using it and found it successful?
So arts and letters is being used. Bristol Township has adopted it as of this year. It's actually the first year for arts and letters, but it has, again, it's coming from the same publisher. So if you look at the information sheet, you'll see that much of what is within it is consistent, aside from the shorter time frame to deliver the lesson. The writing instruction is a little bit more explicit, and so we're confident that it's going to give us the same great results that Wit and Wisdom is currently giving us.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mrs. Mealy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The other item is 6.1B, the Hanover Capstone Math Report. And Ms. Coletti and Mr. Rutz, would you mind just saying a few words about that, please? Thank you.
Centennial recently partnered with Hanover Research to do a review of our K-12 math program. They collected data in a variety of different ways, looking at survey data from teachers, students, parents. They looked at assessment data going back to 2017, and they also did some in-depth interviews with staff members. So the comprehensive report is linked in the agenda, but just to highlight a few of the findings, based on teacher perception data, teacher feedback, they found that both our elementary curriculum, our K-5, we use Eureka, secondary CPM, we use 612. They found with both programs, they found the program did a good job of helping students tackle difficult problems, challenging problems, and building that conceptual understanding. Where they found that they needed some additional resources was more on that skill practice items. In terms of the assessment data that they collected, they found that since the district adopted Eureka back in 2021. Elementary test scores for achievement on PSSA has increased from around 12 to 18%, which was a pretty significant jump. We also were able to, through this research, identify what they called gatekeeper courses. So we could, for example, advanced math grade 6, we were looking at, basically students' trajectory of their success based on if they were placed in those advanced placement tracks. So through that, we are looking at ways that we can try to look at our criteria for getting students into that advanced math track and trying to refine that so we can provide more access and opportunity for our students. And I don't know if there was anything else that Hanover we have used with all of our subject areas over the last few years. And in terms of next steps, what we actually do with that data is we will work with our math task force next year, starting in the fall, to put together a team of a variety of stakeholders to review our current curriculum and identify some next steps in terms of what we're going to be using for our curriculum going forward for math.
I just want to add to that. Thank you, Ms. Coletti. What we're going to have to balance with the math task force, and as you mentioned, we've done this after every capstone report. So we've done Eureka Math, we did K-5 Math years ago, we did RELA Social Studies that we're still living in science. These capstone reports all led to curriculum selection renewal process. One thing we're going to have to balance as we're working through the math task force in the upcoming school year is that the state of Pennsylvania may be developing new math standards. We'll know a little bit more going into next year. If it's just the beginning of the process, we're probably going to have about a 3 to 5 year window before the state actually produces them. I don't think they're going to be on an accelerated timeline for that, but it's just something I want to share with the board that's going to be coming down the pike as well.
Thank you, Mr. Rutz. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, question for myself, obviously. How does the Hanover report tie in with the MTSS?
what it does is it provides us significant information from really three sources, Mr. Goddickson: quantitative analysis, and then qualitative analysis from parent and student surveys, and also staff surveys. And what it does is it highlights areas of strength and areas of need. So one area that Ms. Cleddy was talking about are the gatekeeper courses. And these are linchpin courses that put students into different trajectories in our math program as they matriculate through. It also highlights different curricula that we've been using for Tier 1 and areas that the data shows we may need additional support. That helps guide our work in the Tier 2 and Tier 3 realm in identifying additional supplemental resources to help those students who may not be succeeding in the Tier 1 curriculum. So as we've gone through other curricular selection process and review, we're always looking for that Tier 1 curriculum, that core, and then additional resources for students who are going to be in Tiers 2 and 3. Not only what Hanover provides, but also the data that we've gotten for the last 4 years, especially K-8 through iReady, which identifies those students, and we'll be sharing that data out next month, and iExcel as well.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Rich. Thank you, Ms. Coletti. Item 6.2, items presented for approval tonight. Be it resolved that the Centennial School District Board of Directors, 6.2A, approves the purchase of databases, licenses, software renewals. I'm sorry, before I start that, let me back up. Does anybody want to pull any items in here before we approve them? Nobody does? Okay, I'll read it again, sorry. Be it resolved that the Centennial School District Board of School Directors, 6.2A, approves the purchases of databases, licenses, software renewals, and consumables for the 26-27 school year. District cost not to exceed $754,470.33. 6.2B approves the purchase of digital textbook licenses for the AP Human Geography course. District cost not to exceed $3,025. Item 6.2C approves the purchase of a new digital resource, Learning Ally, for grade 6-12. District cost not to exceed $8,797. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any abstentions? Okay. Passes 9-0.
Thank you. Mrs. Krieger?
Well, I did 7.1 by mistake earlier, so I'll go to 7.2. Items, is there anything on here that somebody would like to pull? 7.2, items presented for approval, be it resolved that the Centennial School District Board of School Directors, 7.2A, approves the proposed final 2026-2027 general fund budget that includes revenues totaling $154,150,020 and expenses totaling $157,692,882 with real estate millage rate of 178.6992. Further authorizes the display and advertising of the budget in accordance with Act 1 of the 2006 School Code. Final adoption will occur in June of 2026. 7.2B authorizes expenditure of the Middle Bucks Institute of Technology General Program for the period July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2027, as set forth by the submitted budget proposal. District cost not to exceed $2,953,048. 7.2C adopts the 26-27 payroll calendar. 7.2D approves the renewal of Google Workspace for Education Plus from CDW Amplified for Education for 3 years beginning the 26-27 school year. This includes 5,600 school licenses and 1,400 staff licenses for Google accounts. District cost not to exceed $109,620 for 3 years. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Any abstentions? Passes 9-0.
Thank you.
Yep.
Mr. Sadowski?
Thank you. Operations Committee, 8.1, items presented for information tonight, none. 8.2, items presented for approval. Anyone want anything pulled, or can I go through the entire agenda? Seeing none there. Be it resolved that the Centennial School District Board of School Directors, 8.2A, approves a one-year extension of service warranty with RFP for intranet access points. District cost not to exceed $52,556. 8.2B, approves internal and external penetration testing of our technology infrastructure with Integra One as a professional development opportunity for our central admin technology team. District cost not to exceed $14,242.50. 8.2C, approves the renewal of the 3-year contract with Siemens Industry Incorporated to service the building automation system and related HVAC systems at William Tennant High School, the administration building, McDonald Elementary School, and Davis Elementary School. District cost not to exceed $286,140. 8.2D, approves outfitting a district school bus to be used as the district park mobile service, mobile feeding operations to benefit children in need. District cost to food service not to exceed $7,000. 8.2E, approves the facility use request of a 35% reduction of fees for Upper Southampton Township to use the pool at William Tennant High School on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from June 22nd to August 7th, 2026. Cost to Upper Southampton Township with the reduction of fees is $3,120. 8.2F, approves retroactively the facility use request of a 50% reduction of fees for Nativity of Our Lord Track and Field to use the stadium at William Tennant High School from March 9th through June 6, 2026 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Cost to Nativity of Our Lord with the reduction of fees is $840. 8.2G, approves the attendance of the Manager of Food and Nutrition to attend the annual SNAPA Food and Nutrition Conference, July 29th through July 31st, 2026, in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. District cost not to exceed $900. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on these items? Seeing,
8.2D?
Yes.
This is the first I'm hearing about this, and this looks amazing.
Yeah.
This is, when it says the food service program, is that the one that we do every summer?
Yes, this is the lunch program.
The lunch program that we've done every summer, okay.
Absolutely, and we often do.
Drive-by.
Drive into the communities as well. It's not just the school pickups, we also go out
into the community.
Neighborhood parks.
So would this bus travel to locations, or would it be fixed like here at?
The bus will travel to.
It will travel. It'll definitely travel.
Locations.
Okay. Thank you.
What's up? Breakfast and lunch. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Yes.
Be a great place to have extra books in the bus, by the way. If you had some that you were trying to, like you had in that closet that one time, if you have extra, might be a good time to distribute them.
Thank you. Yes.
One more. Is there any possible federal funding because we're taking this mobile?
Yeah.
But there's no additional. Right, but I didn't know if because we were more mobile and we're retrofitting a bus and we're doing all of that, if there's any additional funding we could get.
It is not. It is actually, the summer food service program is actually a high margin piece of business for school districts in that manner, so.
We keep getting less from the federal government, I was hoping.
And it's a mandated requirement that you have seating available for families, right? So if you don't, you could get dinged and they could stop your program. So over the years, we've sort of, it was looser during COVID and they were a little more lax. We are in an audit year this year, so it's really critical that we can show that we are making those efforts to feed the children at that location.
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
It's a clever solution to that problem as well. All right. Any other discussion on those points? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? This is 9-0.
Thank you, Mr. Sadowski.
Of course.
All right, board comments. A couple of things. I missed one. On May 9th, I just wanted to give a shout out to Marie Ancinelli. Hope I pronounced that right. We had a community food drive at McDonald Elementary School. She is fantastic. The amount of work she does, even helping pull all the food in, stocking the shelves. We had a tremendous outreach from the community. They brought a lot of donations, and she was right there with all of us pulling it in. So kudos to her. She really outdid herself. The other one that I wanted to mention was we had Memorial Day was yesterday, and there was a parade in Ivyland where it rained. In Warminster, it did not. Just putting it out there. Mother Nature gave us a little break. But in the beginning of the services, one of our tenant students, Kalina Vieira, did I pronounce that correctly, did the national anthem. Absolutely amazing. Just beautiful. And the marching band, we were, the school board, many of us were right behind in the little golf cart, which I want to give a shout out, thanking them for dropping it off at the township building. We were following behind the marching band. They were so good. The community loved them. It was such a good, positive event. Throwing, I think it was like 4,000 pieces of candy we threw to the kids. It was just so well done. And our marching band, no complaints. I mean, they got soaked in Ivyland, but I mean, they walked the whole thing, playing their instruments. They sounded fantastic. It was a well-done community event, and they really made us proud. They did a great job.
Thank you to Mr. Seifert for that as well.
Yes.
Can't say enough about Mr. Seifert. He is amazing.
He was right there with them.
Amazing.
He did a great job.
Dressed in a suit this year.
Yes.
Yes.
Looking sharp.
Yes, we have a strong community around Centennial, and it's nice to see.
It is. And kudos to Mr. Baranowski for his throwing ability. He got more candy out than
Well done.
on both sides of Street Road.
Yes.
We did,
Master of
right.
Ceremonies?
Celebrate our Master of Ceremonies.
Yes, he did a great job, too. He really
Yeah,
did.
Leo's awesome.
Leo Baranowski was the Master of Ceremonies, and he did a fantastic job up there. Didn't hesitate, got right up there.
He did. Great job.
I just wanted to quickly say to our seniors, the next time this board meets, you will be William Tennant alumni. As crazy as that is. So enjoy these final days as Panthers. And I definitely am looking forward to so many of the fun activities that are coming up in the weeks and days ahead. Tomorrow is Senior Awards Night at 6:30. It's been revamped. I hear it's going to be a really special program this year, so you definitely want to come check that out. That's something that, as Mrs. DiPaolo mentioned, Panther Partners meetings we've been doing every month here at the high school for parents to come in and discuss opportunities like that, not just to hear what's coming up, that's one part of it, but to actually get involved and help in small committees to help plan these events and make them even better for our students. So it's a great way to stay involved. Mr. Tennant is Friday night at 7, certainly looking forward to that. A Walk to Remember is on Monday for the students, and that night is Night of Reflections at 7 p.m. and graduation in our lovely stadiums, of course, Wednesday at 4:30. So the year is winding down for all students and, of course, teachers and staff as well. Have fun. Good luck with finals. You'll be fine. Take a breath. It'll be okay. But enjoy the rest of the year.
Dr. McGuire?
Just a reminder to follow up from Memorial Day, that the Upper Southampton Veterans Advisory Committee, Veterans Affair, I should have cut my, sorry, is organizing a flag planting event at Veterans Field on Street Road on June 3rd at 10 o'clock. We're looking for assistance to help place 660 flags. So if you're available, just meet at Veterans Field, and you're a volunteer, when you volunteer, please just let us know who you are, and we appreciate everything. Thank you.
Mrs. Krieger?
Was the air conditioning issue resolved in a permanent sense, or is it a Band-Aid?
So it's not a permanent fix. We have been able to identify an issue that will take us through the remainder of the school year. But there is a permanent fix underway. I can have Mr. Wortman update the board about that over the weekend update. But we are able to address a permanent fix in a more cost-productive way than we had first anticipated.
Thank you. Mrs. DiPaolo?
Yep, I have a few comments. Yep. First, I forgot to mention, our next Education Committee meeting is June 10th, 2026 at 4:45 here. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. A Couple things I wanted to mention about the Panther Partners. Any new parents coming into high school, it's like the high school version of Home and School, but it's more parent-run and less administration helping. So look out for that when you, the prices. You do already have a high schooler? I was wondering that, okay. So, but that's good to know. Dr. Caracappa shared that the kids that went on the senior Disney trip did really well. So that was our hope, that our kids would be well-behaved and have a good time, and it sounds like that happened. So looking forward to next year's seniors being able to go on the same trip. Mr. Greenwood, I wanted to say your presentation, your graphics are really nice. So I don't know if you do that yourself, but they're really, they make it very interesting. So nice job with your presentation. And then finally, the board, the outstanding awards for our staff. Done really well, Dr. Lucabaugh. We've been lucky enough to have many of those teachers that were recognized tonight, and I can attest to how deserving they were of those awards. So thank you for doing a nice job with that and making it special for them. Thank you.
Mike?
We are having Dr. Lucabaugh is going to be presenting on June 4th at Centennial Station, what he presented at the Home and School. So we're getting out to another community, which I think is great.
Perfect.
6 o'clock, 6:30?
6:30, June 4.
Thank you for that. Any additional comments? Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
All right. The next meeting of the Committee of the Whole will be held on Tuesday, June 23rd. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Good night.